how to trade from the winning frequency, and that is trading out of heaven. Everyone is trying to trade out of hell. So hell can look like greed, FOMO, anger, frustration, desperation. But if you're trying to trade out of heaven, it can look like clarity, inspiration, love, abundance, joy. But to reach that space, there's a lot of things that you have to unlearn. It's like Bruce Lee once said, I cannot pour into a cup that's already full. You need to pour everything out that is from your previous ego, your previous life, and then you can start anew. And then you have the space to hold on to all this new stuff that you're about to learn. So firstly, unlearn your need to be right. There's no 100% method that's going to work out all the time. You have to learn how to deal with losses when it comes to trading. Secondly, unlearn the obsession with certainty. Trading, you have that masculine aspect where you can control everything, study everything, backtest everything. And then you have the feminine aspect where you have to let go and let the market do its thing. And thirdly, unlearn the rush to feel instant gratification. So to unlearn all of these things, you first have to be still. You have to understand where do they come out from. If you're in this video or any of my previous videos wondering, hey, why is it that I'm still not profitable when I'm already in such a positive mindset? There's a lot of stories that you are subconsciously holding on to that is not brought out into your awareness yet. And meditating will solve that. To really bring that awareness into your day-to-day thoughts, you first have to start with meditation. Listen to your thoughts. Be that observer at the back of your head, constantly listening to what this avatar is currently carrying on to. Try aiming for 10, try aiming for 15. Reach that point where your body is like, oh, I can't do this anymore. And then listen to that voice. Be like, who's speaking now? So to trade from heaven, it's not something that comes naturally. Because since young, we have been taught to, follow this certain set of rules. Be constantly in anxiety that you're not doing something good enough. Be in fear that if you miss out on this chance, it's never going to come again. Acting out of all this fear is something that we're so used to. So now, acting out of heaven becomes something that requires discipline. You have to do the things that you say you're going to do. For example, when you say you're going to exercise, do it. You say you're going to journal, journal. You say you're going to backtest your trades, backtest it. Why do we show up better to our bosses, working towards a goal that is not serving us, than our own goals, our own wishes, and our own commands? This is where conviction and trust in yourself actually builds. This brings me to the next point of mixing a good masculine and feminine. When you show up at said time, when you said you will, that is the masculine aspect. Sometimes we spend so much of our masculineness into our jobs that the rest of the time we're just feminine. We cancel on plans, we don't show up on time. We want that balance in everything. If you're very masculine in your work, you have to be masculine in yourself. And through that work masculinity, find some ways to be feminine in those as well. You won't be overpouring all of that feminine energy into your personal life. It's not just about gender anymore. We're coming into the place where the people who succeed are the people who can balance both masculine traits and feminine traits. So when it comes to trading, you need that structure masculine side where you're doing, showing up on time, backtesting, studying, and following a certain structure. Like, what is your protocol? You have to follow that to a T. And then the feminine side is allowing the market to come to you, sitting back and letting it play out exactly how it should before you then implement the next step of masculinity. So personally, I did not have it easy, coming into full-time trading. I actually started out with debt that I need to pay. So instead of just making, my average income, I have to make this amount that I have to spend every month as well as the debt. So this debt actually became my greatest teacher because it taught me how to be responsible, how to show up on time, right? How to constantly pay this amount every single month, even though it hurts. And it taught me how to live within my means. Even though I was making like a good amount, half of it is given away. And it also taught me how to take on ownership. There's a lot of times in between paying off this debt, I was trying to get out of it, right? I'm like, no, this is unfair. I was blaming the world. I was blaming everything else. But the moment I started taking ownership, I started asking the world for more. And that was when I saw that the world can give me more. Even things that seems like it has nothing to do with you. The moment you can start taking on other people's problem, you are expanding the size of you. And when you expand the size of you, God will give you so much more resources for you to carry out what you want to do. So if your mom is a single parent and you have decided that you want to care for her, take that on. Your business partner forget to add in costs and it's now costing your profit margin, take it on. So when you start taking ownership of things around you, your energy starts to shift. That is how you become skillfully lucky. You expand more, you become bigger, and therefore you can hold on to more prosperity, more abundance. So when you come into trading and you become the bigger man, you have to think in larger timelines as well. You gave your degree or diploma 3-4 years of your life, and then you gave your last job 2-3 years or 5. You come into trading, why can't you give it 2 to 3 years of no expectation, just coming here to master this skill? You are here because you want to be here and not because you need to. The person who needs everything is so needy that the world runs away from it. Like everything you chase runs away from you. But when you're in that heaven mindset where you're just here to master this craft, you start attracting. You start having the right resources, the right traits, the right things will play out for you, or in the perfect synchronized timing. The more relaxed you are coming into this craft, the more the world will show you opportunities. Understand that you're not betting on trading, you're actually betting on yourself. This is a lifelong craft. The market will only reflect to you what you are currently showing it. Every time you sit down here and it's not playing out in the way that you want, you take on the responsibility to know that this is all because of me. I am a bigger man, this is only showing me what I need to see right now. And with that, you journal it down and you see what you need to unlearn. You are your greatest teacher. Like whatever I can speak right now is only things that I've been through. You know exactly where you were before. And therefore, you will give yourself the best kind of lessons that's meant for you. The most important book that you can read is actually your journal. I follow these 4 pillars of life, which is your health, wealth, heart, and soul. And every single day, I would fill up all 4 of these pillars. If one of them is way heavier than the other 3, then obviously it's imbalanced and it reflects in the charts. It reflects in the way I trade. So for example, health can be eating healthy, heading to the gym, taking my supplements, making sure that I sleep for 8 hours and I don't drink too much coffee. And then wealth can look like back testing, showing up for a New York trading session, and journaling all of my trades. And then heart could be spending time with my loved ones, calling my mom, filming a YouTube video where I express myself and letting my creative outlet flow. And lastly, soul, which is journaling, writing down the things that I'm grateful for, meditating for 15 minutes every day, and reading a book about like aliens and outer space because it fits my soul. It reminds me that I am part of something bigger than what I am doing right now. So you have to make sure that all 4 of these pillars are equal. You can't have your wealth, like doing so much for wealth without feeding your heart and soul. So you can check out my other video on journaling because I gave way more examples on how you can feed your health, wealth, heart, and soul. And sometimes you can even merge them together. For example, like walking on a treadmill while listening to a book about spirituality. So that would fit both your health and your soul. So I'll link that down in the description below. So every single day, write down how you're feeding into your health, wealth, heart, and soul. So to put it simply, every day before you go to bed, write down things that you want to fill up in your health, wealth, heart, and soul. And then the next day, write down exactly what you have done that day. You want to be so precise about yourself that you know exactly what you had for lunch yesterday. You know who you hang out with, you know what books you read, you know how you feel when you show up to the charts. That is how observant and how much awareness you should bring into your day-to-day life in order for you to unlearn who you were and learn who you're going to be. So most people never committed to anything for more than a month. That's why they keep cost jumping and they are constantly seeking for things outside of themselves. But stop seeking because it is all within you. All this advice that you're hoping to hear from someone else is actually sitting right now within you. The answers are always the first thought that comes to you when you think of a problem. But you have to start trusting yourself. Before your ego interrupts it, Learn to listen to that inner guide that's always been sitting within you. So ego death isn't like a mystical thing of a phoenix dying and rebirth. It's actually challenging that belief that isn't yours. So for example, money is hard to earn. This is not something that you were born with. It was something that was given to you. So the next time when you're sitting down there on the charts and making $1,000-$2,000 and you're feeling like, how is this possible? Like where is the difficulty in this? Know that that is not you. And then write it down in your journal. Unlearn it. And then what is a new sentence that you want to be carrying with you? Money is easy to make because I am vibing so good, right? Another belief that you can hold on to is, I deserve this money because I've been a good person. I did not lie, I did not cheat, I did not steal. That is all that is enough to make me this 1,000-2,000 in 10 minutes. So you are in no obligation to be who you were just 2 seconds ago. Like right now, you can already be living in that new identity that you have decided for yourself. But first, you have to be aware of what is yours and what is not yours. So the moment that you find out that this thought is not serving me and it's not from me, it's probably from someone that I love and respect, let it go. Every moment is a chance for you to be reborn and choose again and again who you rather become. So ultimately, why trading is spiritual to me is because you have to learn how to deal with your own pain. It's such a solo journey that you realize a lot of times the people who succeed in trading are the ones who know how to deal with themselves alone. They're not the people constantly jumping from courses to courses. They're not the noisiest people in the group chats as well. They're the ones with that relationship with their inner dialogue, where they can hear what is their higher self, their heaven self, and what is their lower self, their self from hell. We don't have to cast them as good or bad. We just have to listen and understand what is serving and what is not. And when the not serving one comes out to play, you don't have to banish them, you don't have to fight, you just have to be like, okay, I understand. You serve your purpose. I'm going to write you down, and now I'm going to carry a new thought that is slightly better, bringing me slightly more to the version that I want to become. So stop trauma dumping on people that you just met, right? No one needs to hold you accountable for that version of yourself. From now on, you are this new person, and there's nothing else to prove. Let's say you have already trauma dumped on some people. You don't have to go there and be like, I am a new, right? It doesn't matter. Just be in that person and everyone else can sense it. You have a direct relationship with God. You have direct relationship with spirit. This is why trading is so spiritual. Let it be spiritual. Stop inviting other people's energy into it. It's a solo journey. It can be lonely, but feeling lonely is a choice. This relationship that you're building will outlast any relationship with anyone else. This is the real work. Don't try to run away from it. So trading out of heaven isn't about being happy all the time. It's about being responsible for your energy in every single moment. Money can solve a lot of money problems, but money cannot buy you relationships, money cannot buy you your health, and money cannot buy you your connection with God. So that is something that you already have to work on your way to financial abundance. And you will see that that is also the reason why financial abundance is attracted to you. So for me, when I came into trading, all I wanted was freedom. The freedom to do whatever I want with whomever I want, anytime I want, anywhere I want. That was my ultimate freedom. Personally, feel like the world is waking up. We're not just envying anyone with a lot of things and a lot of stuff anymore. We're looking at the person who is embodying the lifestyle that we ultimately want. The peaceful look on their face, them excited to wake up in the morning. And you can have that too from wherever you are. You don't need the circumstance to change for you to be happy with where you are right now. If you're able to be happy from where you are right now, everything else will change. And that is how you trade from the winning frequency. That is how you live in the winning frequency. The true winners are the one who is in love with their craft. Be in love with every other aspect of your life. Because when you actually have the time to do anything and everything you want, what will you actually do? So if you want to trade like me, only 2 hours a day and spending the rest of my time feeding my health, heart and soul, check out my link in bio. And if you want to see how I live skillfully lucky every day, follow my Instagram. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!